it's just me teaching today. But as everybody knows, there's been a student teacher each section. And the concept is those were all students who had studied for a few months, and their homework or their assignment was to read there's tons of books on Jyotish, tons of them, and their assignment is to go through, read these texts, and be able to present a small section. Whether it's Umesh gave us this introduction with the Panchanga and the Ayanamsha. Sue gave us last time, she worked with the Grahas. Today, Shashi's not here, so I'm going to be lecturing on it. He's in India. But so if you stay, you finish the beginner's course, my guru will be coming in the summertime, and he'll be teaching for about 2 months. There'll be a workshop and all that. And then we'll probably do we'll start another beginner's course November, December time. So those who stay through the whole course and study, your homework, your next level will be to research, something like Grahas or Rāśis or something like you saw Sue Ann and Umesh do, and present that with me in our next beginner class. And by presenting that, the people that have done the research, the main objective is there's multiple scriptures out there, ancient texts. All right. Ancient texts that contain all this Jyotish. All of this information is there. And what happens in America is everything likes to get watered down. And people read modern authors' books that they don't give reference to the classics, and you only have their opinion, and from the Jyotish perspective, their opinion is not worth anything because they're not considered rishis. They didn't attain a level. Their book didn't stay around for 500 to 3,000 years to prove that it was a worthwhile text. So the homework is, and I have all the books, and people make copies out of them. Sometimes they order the important ones themselves, so they have these Jyotish texts. But the homework is to go through and read these texts on a certain topic. If you wanted to read the whole thing, you'd never get through them all. But by picking just a small little topic like planets or signs, you can go through and read all of them and just get a flavor, a taste of these ancient texts and see where the information's coming from. And that will give you the education of what is considered a good source, what is considered accurate, what is considered, if you notice whenever I talk, and I don't know if you notice, but when I say something, I'm quoting or I'm saying so-and-so says. I don't say I say, I don't say my guru says. I say my guru might interpret so-and-so like this. But the bottom line is I refer to something as factual. And so that first homework assignment of teaching the beginner's class is beginning to work at that level and to touch into the classics and the roots of Jyotish. And then after that, the next level, and Umesh and I were just talking, we look at your individual chart, and this is my hopes, is in developing Sri Jagannath Center here. Sri Jagannath Center, the real intention is Jyotish research. There's a lot of these principles that lie around that 3,000 years ago, Parashara said, when this happens, the person is disrespectful to gurus. When this happens, the person has 3 wives. What does having 3 wives mean in America? When it says Mars in the 3rd house gives you 3 wives, is the person going to have 3 wives at the same time? Are they going to have 3 marriages? How does it play out in America? And this is something that we only learn by really researching here and now, looking at 50 charts of friends and looking for this kind of particular happening. And then to be able to come in the Sri Jagannath Center, what we do is we have workshops, and there's one happening right now in London. There's one in Singapore in 2 weeks from now. There's one in India in January every year. Ours in California happens end of August every year. And then it's in Boston in September. And particularly this year, I'm going to, just as an example, I'll be lecturing on what's called A10. It's your boss. I'll be lecturing on the boss and how to see this interaction with the boss, the A10, and Rajapada. And I'll be lecturing on Upapada. Upapada is marriage. And I'll be giving my twist, talking about things kind of taking marriage into California life, and just my research and various Vedic remedies that are kind of outdated. And so taking the principle and turning it into something that people in California can actually do. Making it for this time, this place. And that's, the scriptures tell us, you need to focus on the person, the time, and the place. And so this research, we need to see, how does this combination that the Rāśi says does this, it will do it. It will give 3 wives. But what does 3 wives look like? Or what does 3 husbands look like for our society, our culture? And so the next level is to look at your chart, see what areas you have interest in, what areas you're strong in, and for you to begin doing some research, looking at charts, and developing an area of expertise. So that's our goal. That's our bigger goal. The biggest goal is, enlightenment, right? But, we're not focused 100% on that. We're taking small steps. Okay, do you move over more? Because now I can't see Mark. You got to get right. No, go right. Yeah, right there. Perfect. You're good exactly where as long as I can see both. Okay. And so Umesh and I were just talking, we were looking at his chart. His 9th house stands out as an area of good research. And the 9th house, as we're going to learn, is about Dharma and spirituality and things of this nature. So that's an area that we're going to have him look into. And he has the Sun and Jupiter there, which is a very spiritual combination. Were there any other announcements? Did I have to announce anything else?
It's on Wednesday, right? Buddhastami.
Oh, Buddhastami is on Wednesday. Good call. So, yeah, that's Wednesday. Wednesday's Buddhastami. I was hoping to do a big puja. Unfortunately, I started a new job on Wednesday. And it just happened to start on that day. And I talked the boss into not coming until 10, so I'll at least be able to do some puja in the morning.
But you can include all of our sun cultures.
Say again?
But you can just add all of our sun cultures to what you do.
Well, you got to say your mantras yourself. You got to do some puja yourself. I mean, I have a Buddha Murti that has Pranapatishta to it, and it's a fully active Buddha Graha, fully alive, that I take care of, and I'll be doing puja with. But I have to do puja every day too. Mantras for how Sanjay would do it is, and we never had a group this big, and I don't know who's in, maybe during break, those who are interested, or maybe after class, those who are interested, stay and we'll talk about the mantras at the end of class. I also, at the end of class, for more advanced students, I wanted to show you some research that I'm doing and see if it's a very simple dasha calculation. And I'll teach it to you, and basically I'm doing research with it. So if you can, the more advanced students, or even if you're not too advanced, you can still stay and try and figure it out. And but it's a monthly dasha to look at and I want to play with that after we're done the beginner stuff. Those who don't know Buddhastami, on my website, under Kala Chakra, there's when the tithis, we all learn that the tithis are the moon phases. When the tithis fall on a certain day, when they line up, it creates certain holidays. For example, when Dashami, the 10th lunar phase, falls on a Friday, it's a very auspicious time for Jupiter. And worship of Jupiter can remove all your debts, can really improve your finances by doing the proper pujas on that day. Buddhastami is an Ashtami, an 8th day, so it's the half moon falling on a Buddhavar, a Wednesday. And so this Wednesday, and it has to be in the waxing moon. So it's a waxing 8th Tithi, falling on a Wednesday. And if you read, there's a whole thing on the my website about it, but particularly it's a sadhana done for memory. And if you perfect the sadhana, it's supposed to be, according to Bhavisha Purana, Bhavisha means the future. It's the Purana that's all about the future. According to Bhavisha Purana, it increases the memory so much that you remember all your past lives.
Wow.
And when you die, you're guaranteed to remember the divine so that you go there. Because if you forget the divine at the very end, then you go to wherever the mind is thinking. So, it's a, yes.
Okay, so how many are mantra siddhi?
How many are
required for mantra siddhi?
You can, according to the Purana, it's more based on the puja. It's based on, it doesn't give, the Purana doesn't give a specific amount. So you can use mantra shastra rules. I don't know if you, in your tradition, you learn that at all. Or
By syllables?
By syllables, by number of words, by the house that you want siddhi of.
Okay.
There's calculations of that nature. Nothing is given in the Purana itself.
Okay.
It's given in Bhavisha Purana. It's also given in Varaha Purana. Though it's the puja is given, the actual Vrata, the fasting, is given slightly different. For example, Bhavisha Purana mentions every Wednesday doing the practice, where Varaha Purana mentions every Ashtami doing the practice. The main puja is done when they combine, but then the regular sadhana, because you're supposed to do the mantra, we're going to go Bhavisha Purana, but every Wednesday you do the mantra. Where with Varaha Purana, it's every Ashtami you're doing the mantra. I advise, if you're going to seriously take up this sadhana of Buddhastami, this memory sadhana, to fast on Ashtamis becomes very important. Because Ashtamis are ruled by Rahu, and Rahu's delusion and forgetfulness. And so it removes that delusion and forgetfulness by fasting on Ashtami. Yes.
Does this have to do anything with the position of Mercury in the Rāśi chart?
Not particularly. It's basically, as I was saying, it's Tithi Vara yogas. It's when the Tithi and the Vara combine in a certain way. So when the Ashtami and the Wednesday line up. And it only happens about once a year, occasionally twice a year, occasionally 0 times a year. Yeah. And you're supposed to do the sadhana for eight Buddhashtamis. And so after 8 years, you get the siddhi of it, meaning your memory is perfected. Even if it improves your memory a little bit, there's no complaint, right? I mean, if you remember all the way your last, I think it says your last 7 lives you'll remember. That's what the Purana says. But even if it just makes you remember a little bit better, who can complain? So this Wednesday,